Tonight on Lowdown, we'll take a look back at some of the most memorable moments of the year, like the Somerset and Ray Shremmerd concert held only a few weeks ago.
We'll also go back to the grand opening of the Crossing, take another look at the Thrive program here on UCM's campus, and much, much more.
So sit down, relax, and take a look back with us here on Lowdown. Hello, welcome back to Lowdown, a show by the students of the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. I'm Rick Fahler.
And I'm Ranjanae Hill. Thanks for joining us this evening as we continue to dive into all the cool things happening here at UCM.
And let's start off the last episode of the school year right by taking a look at some of the great performers we had grace the stages around campus this past year.
Like John Raymond Fisher, a man with a musical style of stand-up comedy.
And speaking of music, we also played host to the Somerset and Ray Shremmerd. We'll also take a look at a story about a student who had that musical flair here at UCM.
Spotlight is an organization on campus dedicated to serving the students. One student amongst the many involved with Spotlight is Scout Miller.
My name is Scout Miller and I am the comedy coordinator for Spotlight. My favorite part about Spotlight is just the aspect of being involved in things. I like the being creative and being able to make posters. I also like the involvement of whenever people come to campus, I get to work with them. I get to be the person that they talk to, and so that aspect of like the job and stuff is really interesting, and I really enjoy it. Working on my people skills and working with like agents and stuff like that. It's a nice skill to have for later on. We just like to bring activities for people to do. Most of the time they're free. It just gives you a chance to interact and be involved more on campus.
One of the most recent activities was a comedy performance from a talented and funny musical comedian.
24/7 hustling all the time and was attached.
I started doing improv about 10 years ago. Improv and sketch, film, a lot of short films, a couple indies and stuff like that. Performing on the whole about 10 years ago, stand-up about 5 years ago, musical comedy about 3.
Just like imagine I'm like flying around.
After doing stand-up comedy for so long, how did John manage the transition and what made him switch so far into his career?
I think it was kind of a natural transition. I've always sort of defaulted to music when I felt lost or unsure of what I'm doing. I'll just kind of come back to my guitar and just play. I felt kind of that way with stand-up. Like there's just so many comedians in LA. And I remember feeling like, God, like this is gonna take years to find my voice. And it's a cool process, but I was impatient, and so I just sat down with my guitar and just played to kind of think and process all that. In that process, I kind of just started writing comedic songs and then taking those to open mics and trying them out and figuring out what was funny and what wasn't and making them stronger.
For students looking to attend events by Spotlight, what is there to expect? We asked an audience member to find out.
I'm Sean Lehman, and I'm just a student at UCM. It was very entertaining, very enjoyable. I just wish a lot more people would have shown up. I think once they would have heard what it was like, they wish that they would have gone.
So how did Spotlight manage to snag such an amazing talent for an entertaining event, and just how did they find John Raymond Fisher?
Part of our Spotlight team went to a conference that's like a student activities conference to find performers and events that you can bring to campus. So they found John Raymond Fisher. He performed at the NACA conference that they'd went to. They really liked him. They booked him and then came back and told me, hey, John Raymond Fisher's coming. Here you go.
How do students get access to this amazing organization?
So if you're interested in Spotlight, we have VIP meetings every Thursday at 4 p.m. VIP is our general body. So if you want to come see what's going on campus, they're here in 217.
What was it like for John being booked through Spotlight?
Yeah, personable organization. They're cool, fun folk.
In closing, John said,
check out Sean Hamron. He's one of my best friends. He's going to be performing at these openings, doing 15, and he's a phenomenal comedian. Not a terribly nice human being, but if you can put that aside, if you can forget about the torment and the rage and the storm that's brewing inside him, I think you'll like his material.
For KMOS, I'm Jacob Clark.
Students packed the university student rec for UCM's first concert series featuring pop group The Somerset and popular rap group Ray Shrimmer. We got the opportunity to meet up with the lead singer of The Somerset, Brian Logan Dales, and he talked about how the group got started.
So John and Stephen Gomez from the band, they're brothers, and Jess Bowen, our drummer, the three of them, they met each other in middle school, they kind of learned their instruments together, and they played in a few bands through high school, and then when I was about 17, we all met and we started The Somerset. I would have been about a senior in high school back then, but so that was 9 years ago.
Definitely getting the audience excited with their musical genius, Brian enlightened us on what their writing process was like.
Every album has been a different process, and this is our fourth album as a band. Like I said, we've been a band for 9 years, so every album has been a different process. But this one, was probably the longest we've ever taken making a record. Took us like a year and a half to make. John and Stephen Gomez, they produced the record. It was a lot of songs that I had written or collaborated on with a few other people, or while I was traveling. I spent a year kind of traveling quite a bit. And these are just kind of a dog pile of songs that I had just kind of, that we had, and then John and Stephen kind of started producing and making them come to life.
Ending the concert with the bang, rap group Ray Shrimmer hit the stage for an unforgettable performance. Only having a few seconds in their schedule to answer questions, the group left saying,
"The crowd was great. I miss performing for people my age. They awesome. 1 or 2 times, y'all just might see me. Shrimp like, crowd was damn crazy.
Thank you.
Also, y'all got some pretty good football players because they caught me and they didn't even see me coming."
Getting the crowd involved and moving to the beat, the group came and impressed those in attendance. Ending the concert with their most popular hit, No Type, the concert definitely did not disappoint. Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Adrian Columbus.
Time and time again, the University of Central Missouri continues to find talented people. Hannah Byrne is just one of those faces. She has been making her impact by working with the University Relations Department, creating commercials and promotional videos.
My job is a lot of fun. I get to edit videos and promotional videos for the school and commercials. I get a real life experience of what it's going to be out in the real world, and I get to edit things that will actually be shown to prospective students. It's a really good feeling for after you finish a video that it will go up on a website and then everyone can see it. It goes on YouTube and you get to share it with your friends.
Films and videos aren't the only thing helping Hannah stand out. She's also an extremely gifted musician.
So whenever I was 10, I started to play, I got guitar lessons because my brother got guitar lessons and I got jealous. So I played guitar for about 10 years.
Hannah also managed to learn to play the bass, the banjo, the mandolin, and the ukulele. While learning to play, she also picked up a knack for songwriting and quickly began creating original songs.
Whenever I was a junior in high school, I started to put my music up on SoundCloud. And eventually I got 2,000 followers, which was really cool. So eventually I was like, I really want to put a CD together. Some I gave out for free, and then eventually it was costing a lot to make them, so I charged like $5. I really like that feeling of letting everyone hear my music, even though it's like, I was just a kid in high school. I got that opportunity.
Just last November, Hannah and 4 other students filmed her first official music video.
It was really interesting because I got to play around with like the production side, and that really played well with what I'm learning now as a college student.
I hadn't listened to the song in so long, and I was just absolutely captivated watching it, and it was just all put together so nicely, and she has such an amazing voice.
I love watching her music video and just seeing how far she's come. It's pretty amazing to see what she's done with her major and her singing and everything like that.
Hannah's friends believe she has a bright future ahead.
I would advise everyone at this university who knows her to keep an eye on her, because we'll see her name somewhere.
She has the determination, and she has the, not the bossiness, but she knows how to get stuff done. I think she'll go places with her major and everything like that, so yeah.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Rick Failer.
The north side of campus had a facelift this year in the form of the crossing, and we're going to go back to take a look at its grand opening.
That's right. We'll also take a look at 2 programs here on campus. The first, Central Missouri's Thrive program.
The second being the rad self-defense course I attended. Take a look.
On August 20th, the University of Central Missouri hosted an event many faculty, staff, students, and Warrensburg residents have been waiting for. The grand opening of UCM's newest building, the Crossing, south at Holden.
This is a building that was designed to a movement about taking learning to a greater degree and engaging in the life of a university, future-focused academics, all of those attributes that are so important, and making that come to life in a physical symbol as well as a usable symbol is something that we're celebrating today.
The university's president, Chuck Ambrose, gave a speech along with Senator David Pierce. There were many people in attendance, from the contractors and architects who helped create the building to students and faculty who were excited to finally see it completed.
What's really interesting at the very end of the program today, the MC asked how many are faculty and staff members here. And it was amazing how many hands went up in the air. And so it wasn't just out-of-town dignitaries, or it wasn't just the builders and the contractors, which are important, but it was faculty and staff. And so I think that sends a positive message that they feel a part of this. It's an exciting place, it's a fun place, and so we know it'll attract students, but I think it's also a good thing for faculty and staff to have something like this on campus.
This 22,000 square foot building cost $42 million to create and will be a home to 325 of UCM's upper class students. There are study rooms overlooking the Audrey J. Walton Stadium, along with places for students to relax and have fun.
I've talked with several students who live here or work here or who eat here, and they just love it. And you can just tell it's a gathering place, it's a place of pride, and one that is just going to be a lot of fun. And when you're talking to university students, you need to have a place that is attractive and a place that they want to be and to be proud of. So that's what I've gathered from the grand opening.
Along with a Starbucks and Spin Pizza for both UCM and Warrensburg residents, a new, bigger university store was also constructed with a convenience store inside for quick and easy shopping.
It's a facility that is supposed to be a leader for this university. I mean, there's retail shops here. The bookstore, university bookstore is here, much enlarged over the way it used to be. And we think it's going to be kind of a gathering place for the student body.
The idea for the Crossing, south at Holden, was thought up many years ago, and on August 20th, the idea became a reality. For the Lowdown, I'm Natalie DiTilio.
And then you would just save that.
UCM's Thrive program is a program that helps people with disabilities to be integrated into a higher education environment.
The Thrive program is a post-secondary program for students with intellectual and cognitive disabilities, developmental disabilities also. So that means that we have students with Down syndrome, we have students on the autism spectrum, and we have things in between.
It's transformation, health, responsibility, independence, vocation, and education. And all 6 strands of that really embodies the entire Thrive program, hence the acronym.
So these are students who probably wouldn't have the opportunity to have a college experience, but by having this program, they're able to come to campus, they're able to go to classes, they live in the dorm. We have all kinds of support for them so they can be successful as they are doing their homework or attending classes or with day-to-day situations.
Thrive will be awarded the 2015 Missouri Governor's Council on Disability Inclusion Award.
It's the Governor's Inclusion Award, and it's for the inclusion that we represent here on the University of Central Missouri campus with our students integrating and included in with the rest of the campus and the typical students. So just showing that we're not just a program that's off in one little corner of the university that serves our students, but it's part of a bigger idea.
The fact that we receive it is because everyone on campus is working with our students in different capacities, whether they're instructors, whether they're new friends that our students have made, but we are a program that has been very welcomed by our campus.
So those 3 areas.
The Thrive program will receive the award on April 19th in St. Charles.
it's awesome. I'm very, very proud to work here and to be part of this program, and to be recognized for it is always nice.
It's a nice honor, it really is, because I feel that our program has worked hard and has grown in these 6 years, and so therefore each year things just get better and better, and I feel like it's a nice honor.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Ben Van Maley.
Rape has always been an issue on college campuses. Here at the University of Central Missouri, programs like RAD are doing their part to lower the statistics.
RAD is a self-defense program. Its acronym is RAD, which stands for Rape, Aggression, Defense, which ultimately means resisting aggression with defense.
RAD is a set course wanting to provide women with knowledge and confidence to fight off potential aggressors.
So, the RAD program is a set program. We have a curriculum that we go off of. We can't deviate from that curriculum, so we can't change what we teach. We can adapt it to the students if somebody has a disability.
We start out with a lot of risk awareness, risk avoidance. We try to give them pointers and safety tips, how to keep themselves out of situations before we actually have to use any of the physical aspects that we teach them during the course.
Sergeant Scott Lewis goes on to talk about how he sees women's growth throughout the duration of this course.
They come in and you can tell that they're timid, they're very unsure of themselves. After they go through the program, you can just tell that they now know they have options in how to protect themselves. They don't have to be scared, that they know that they can actually hit somebody, they can actually kick somebody if they really need to.
Being scared was all too real for UCM freshman Isabel Aris, who experienced a stalker herself once before.
It made me feel very nervous. I was working 3 jobs and they knew everywhere I worked, where I lived. I didn't really know how to deal with it. I was a lot younger than I am now, so I didn't really contact anybody, and I was kind of just hoping it would stop instead of actually doing something about it. Luckily, in that situation, it did stop, but you hear about other situations that people aren't so lucky. So.
Well, it's better to have something than nothing. This is a 12-hour course. It's not a full-on martial arts course that you're going to take for your entire life. But these are skills and moves that are easy enough for you to do in an emergency situation or any type of situation that may happen.
With Lowdown, I'm Ranjanae Hill.
To close out the show this evening, let's go back to when I went behind the cameras here at KMOS to show you how shows like this get put together.
We'll also go back to February when the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association here on campus held an event at Trails Library where children could go to hear a story, enjoy some snacks, all with a Valentine's Day theme.
And finally, we'll go to UCM's Military and Veteran Success Center to talk about a reward they received this year and what they're doing for our military students. Our KMOS station has been located on campus at the University of Central Missouri since 1979. Since then, KMOS has put a strong emphasis on integrating students into the system, which is exactly why they created a new practicum class to help the students transition.
It was apparent to me that we had a lot of students working at KMOS, but they didn't really know each other. So after sort of looking at the situation here at KMOS, I thought, well, I think we can do a little bit better on our part in terms of training students and preparing them for working here at KMOS. So it gives students a chance to sort of see everything in terms of the operations of a television station.
KMOS is extremely convenient and also provides much-needed job experience for students entering the workforce.
This is a real over-the-air television station, 38 counties, 1 million viewers, covers almost all of mid-Missouri, and that's really where UCM students have the opportunity to stand out. If they get involved with KMOS, it gives them the chance then to have that real-world experience. Most of the time, those entry-level jobs, they're looking for a year or 2 of experience. Here at UCM, you get the good education, and then you can also get the practical experience.
Along with professional job experience, KMOS also provides a healthy work environment and friendly atmosphere.
The environment of KMOS is almost like walking into your best friend's house, and I just immediately felt welcomed into what KMOS was. And over the past, semester, I've gained a lot of friends here.
This is a really good opportunity for me to become well-rounded in the industry of digital media. Starting here at KMOS will really help me start a resume, also get experience working in a professional environment. And
all positive production begins with feeling comfortable with those around you.
I would say my favorite thing, hands down, about KMOS is experiencing the people that KMOS has within its walls.
For me, as always, my favorite part is working with the students. You just have this constant influx of people who have new ideas. Students always have a lot of enthusiasm. They try really hard. It's just having that enthusiasm around. It's a really good, infectious thing for any company.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Rick Fahler.
Look at you, Rex.
When daily routines involve more and more screen time, some parents find their children falling behind in reading. Nishla and the Trails Regional Library are doing their part by offering Stories and Slices, an event where children do crafts, eat food, and most importantly, read and take home books.
This event is really important to me because with the books that the kids get to take home, they're bringing language and literacy into the home, which is a super big part of what we learn in school, is to make sure that every kid has a book and they get that literacy aspect as well as the language and the vocab from the books. So having the books in the home are really important.
It's important for the kids to get excited about reading. My son has always loved reading, so that's not a problem, but it's a fun time to socialize and work on crafts and eat pizza and have fun. Especially in the winter, you can get out of the house and interact with others.
Stories and Slices has been meeting 5 times a year for the last 3 years. The theme of the event usually coincides with the nearest holiday. This past Saturday, students created Valentine's Day crafts and listened to 1 Zillion Valentines by Frank Morrell.
My favorite part of Saturday Stories and Slices is seeing the kids' feedback when I read the books to them, or when they get to pick out a book. They kind of get to express themselves and find which is their favorite, and we usually try to bring a wide variety so that they are able to get their favorite book and bring it home with them.
But it's very important that they still have, the book, the actual book, where they can turn the pages and they can read on their own and then review the book, look at the pictures, retell the story. So there's so much learning of literacy that is involved with utilizing those books.
Well, reading comprehension is really important for school. Some of my favorite memories as a kid were coming to the library with my mom, so I want him to have the same opportunity. And he loves books, so we read all day.
Keep your eye out for Stories and Slices events on the Trails Regional Library website. Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Bryce Jones.
I read books in bed.
Yeah, before bedtime? What are your favorite kind of stories to hear?
The Book of Narnia.
Military Advanced Education and Transition has awarded the University of Central Missouri the designation of a top school in its 2016 MAE&T Guide to Colleges and Universities. They measured best practices in military and veteran education.
We have about 1,200, just under 1,200 military and or veteran students. And our job, all 3 of us are here to basically make as smooth a transition into the academic world as we possibly can for a military member.
Over 600 institutions were presented with the questionnaire of the military supportive policies. After being rated, the top school will be awarded.
They'll seek you out and say, what are you doing? And then we fill out a survey telling them all the things that we offer our military and veteran students. They rate that survey, and then if we finish in the top 25 percentile, then we'll be awarded the top military institution.
This year, they were assessed on military culture, financial aid, on-campus support, and more.
It'll ask us, do we have a Military and Veterans Success Center? We obviously say yes. It's 1,300 square feet of space dedicated to them. So those answers are pretty standard. It's important for us to know, and if we get asked those questions, we want to be able to answer them.
Jeffrey believes the union of traditional students with the military students created a positive bond and an ultimately promising change here on our campus.
We do honor the 9/11 Memorial Day, and when the very first year we did that, it was just us and our military students. But last September, when we did Memorial Day, 9/11 Memorial Day, the quad was full of students everywhere. They just stop, wait for the ceremony to finish, and then go on about their classes. So it shows that this is paying off not only for our students, but for our traditional students as well.
I'm Brianna Blocker, reporting for Lowdown.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. But don't fear, the show in its entirety and the individual segments can be found on our KMOS TV YouTube page.
Thanks for joining us this evening for our final episode as we say goodbye to Rick, who's graduating and moving on to bigger things.
I've had a great run here at KMOS, and I'm really going to miss everyone. So, for the last time, I'm Rick Thaler.
And I'm Ronjanae Hill. Have a great summer. Good night.
Of the school year right by taking a look at some of the great performers. Let's start off the last episode of the school year right by taking a look at some of the great performers we had grace the stages this past year.
Did you see the little did you see the episode?
Show by the students of the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. I'm Rick Thaler.
I'm sorry, I turned my head really weird. I was like,
yeah, it looked like a horror movie.
Yeah. We gotta redo that. Okay.
I'm Rick Thaler.
And I'm Ronjanae Hill. Have a great summer. Good night.
Do that again?
You're like, I'm gonna miss the people.
But I guess good night. I don't know.